Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Stoic Compass. I'm Jim Walker.
And I'm Eleanor Vance. So glad you're with us on this journey.
Before we dive into today's incredibly powerful topic, do us a huge favor.
Yeah?
Hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
Absolutely.
It genuinely helps us reach more people who might benefit from these discussions.
That's right.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Your support means the world, and it helps us continue to bring these vital Stoic insights to a wider audience.
All right, Ellie. Today, we're tackling a topic that really hit me hard when I first read it. We're talking about Stoicism not just as a philosophy, but as something truly life-saving.
Indeed. It's a profound perspective that often gets overshadowed by the more common discussions about resilience or productivity. But the story we're discussing today, Stoicism Saved My Life, by Vincent Kennedy on the Daily Stoic site, truly underscores the deeper impact these ancient teachings can have.
Yeah, I mean, the title alone, Stoicism Saved My Life, just grabs you. And his description of life feeling like an uncontrollable emotional car wreck, wow, that's a stark image.
It is. Vincent opens up about a 2-decade struggle with crippling, sporadic episodes of deep depression and extreme mania.
Right. He talks about being curled up on the floor, consumed by drastically negative thoughts, feeling like a crumbling, foolish disaster.
And then, just as suddenly, swinging to euphoric, delusional highs, convinced he was invincible.
I see.
The gulf between those two extremes, as he describes it, was devastating.
That sounds incredibly difficult to navigate. But then he had this key realization, didn't he? That external events weren't changing, but his internal thoughts and emotions were the ones going haywire.
Exactly. And that realization, Jim, was his very first step.
Right.
It speaks directly to the Stoic principle of the dichotomy of control.
I see.
He was starting to see that while he couldn't control the external circumstances, he could, perhaps, learn to control his internal world.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
He started searching for answers and first turned to psychology, right?
Right.
Freud's id, ego, and superego.
Yes. He saw the id as the source of instinctive, powerful outbursts, very much like a spoilt child.
Makes sense.
And then the superego, that was his internal critic, constantly fueling self-loathing.
Got it.
And the ego was him, the part trying to control these emotional geysers. He realized these were forces he needed to control, not be controlled by.
Which again sounds very Stoic to me. Recognizing what's within your power and what isn't.
Precisely. But as Vincent notes, understanding wasn't enough. He needed a method.
Exactly.
And that, he says, is where Stoicism entered his life.
I see.
He calls it the perfect find, a philosophy to partner with his newfound psychological insights.
Ah, the perfect find. Unlike just pray, hope, and don't worry, Stoicism offered a realistic answer to his suffering. It acknowledged that life is tough, but it gave him a way to remain level-headed and virtuous through that toughness.
Exactly. As Nassim Nicholas Taleb, who is often described as a modern Stoic, brilliantly puts it, a Stoic is someone who transforms fear into prudence, pain into transformation, mistakes into initiation, and desire into undertaking.
Oh, that's a good quote.
Yeah.
Transforms fear into prudence.
Exactly.
I like that.
Indeed. Vincent recognized his own passions and desires, those impulses from his id and superego, were the very source of his suffering.
So Stoicism became that crucial stopgap for him. A first line of defense against irrational emotions, teaching him to take a pause, a moment, to look at those emotions rationally.
Yes, to apply reason, virtuous thinking, and right action.
Well, I'll be darned. That sounds like a game changer.
Absolutely.
Especially for someone struggling with such intense internal battles.
Makes sense.
He highlights 4 specific areas where Stoicism profoundly helped him, right?
That's right. The first is inner control.
Got it.
Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events."
Makes sense.
He also said, "Realize this, and you will find strength." And for Vincent, with his volatile mind, this became his most important principle.
So instead of impulsively reacting, he now pauses. He questions his desires and opinions, keeping his mind sharp against his internal critic.
Absolutely. This is the dichotomy of control in practice.
Makes sense.
He identifies what is truly within his control, his judgments, his reactions, and redirects his energy there.
True.
It's a powerful act of self-mastery.
And the second area was personal responsibility. He stopped being the complainer, the expector, as he put it.
Yes, Stoicism, he explains, removes that passive role and inserts a rational, problem-solving thinker, someone who faces problems, finds solutions, makes no excuses, and takes full responsibility for their actions.
True. I mean, Marcus Aurelius urged, "Your duty is to stand straight, not held straight." That really drives home the idea of personal agency.
Indeed, but let us consider how this relates to our own struggles. I, for one, can sometimes get caught up in the expectation that things should be perfect, leading to frustration when they inevitably aren't.
Yeah, I get that. And for me, I'm trying to work on my patience.
Makes sense.
Sometimes I expect things to move faster than they do, and I can feel that frustration bubbling up.
Yeah.
It's hard to remember to just, stand straight.
Exactly. These aren't just ancient maxims, they are practical tools for our modern lives.
True.
The third point Vincent highlights is about the future and success, or amor fati.
I see.
We often dream of fantastic futures and get crushed when things don't go our way.
Oh, tell me about it. It's easy to get caught up in those what-if scenarios, both good and bad.
Stoicism taught Vincent not to expect anything particular, but to cultivate a love of fate, amor fati, to embrace whatever arises, knowing it will always be somewhat different from our expectations.
So it's not about being passive, but about treating results with indifference. Not getting overjoyed by good or depressed by bad.
Precisely. It keeps you focused on the present moment and the tasks at hand, reducing that constant hankering for more.
That's a powerful way to live. Not constantly chasing the next thing, but finding contentment in the now.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that our happiness isn't contingent on external outcomes, but on our internal state.
Good point. And the final area Vincent mentions is about death, or memento mori.
Yes, Vincent used to be fixated on death, questioning the point of living. Now he sees it differently. The awareness of death's inevitability drives him to be better, to do better each day.
So that's a complete turnaround.
Right.
From despair to motivation.
Makes sense.
Seneca's wisdom really resonates with that.
Yeah?
He said, "Life is never incomplete if it is an honorable one."
Absolutely.
And at whatever point you leave life, if you leave it in the right way, it is whole.
Exactly.
Right.
Death, for Vincent, is now a powerful motivator for living virtuously.
Makes sense.
It brings a sense of urgency to act in accordance with reason and virtue.
Wow. Vincent Kennedy's story is a testament to the fact that Stoicism isn't just theory.
Right.
It's a practical, powerful philosophy capable of transforming lives.
Makes sense.
Pulling us back from the brink and grounding us in mindful, thankful, and virtuous aspirations.
Even when those deep depressive states still try to take hold, he has the Stoics to turn to, reminding him that he is, by nature, formed able to bear whatever it is.
That's incredibly inspiring. So, Ellie, let's reflect on that pause that Vincent mentions.
Right.
This stopgap before irrational emotions take over.
Makes sense.
How does that relate directly to the Stoic dichotomy of control?
It's fundamental, Jim.
Right.
The pause is the moment where we apply the dichotomy.
I see.
It's where we consciously differentiate between what is within our control, our judgments, our responses,
Makes sense.
and what is not, the external event or the initial emotional surge.
Exactly. So instead of just reacting, you're creating space for a rational response?
Precisely. It's that crucial moment, that interstice, where the role of reason truly comes into play.
Right.
Because without that pause, we're simply swept away by our immediate impressions and reactions.
Yeah, I see.
Epictetus often emphasized that it's not the things themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them.
Good point. So the pause is where we question those initial judgments.
Exactly. It allows us to ask, is this truly a catastrophe?
Right.
Or is it merely an inconvenience that my mind is amplifying?
I can see how that would help. It's like putting a mental speed bump in front of your emotional reaction.
An excellent analogy.
Exactly.
And this leads us to the importance of virtue.
I see.
Does pausing make it easier to choose the virtuous path?
I would think so. If I'm paused and thinking rationally, I'm less likely to snap back with anger or act impatiently, which is something I'm trying to work on.
Absolutely.
That's right.
It creates the mental space to consider what a wise, courageous, just, or temperate response would be in that moment.
Makes sense.
It's the practical application of our moral philosophy.
So how does this pause concept tie into the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum? That's the premeditation of adversity, right?
Good question. Premeditatio malorum is about mentally preparing for potential setbacks. The pause, when adversity actually strikes, becomes the moment where that mental preparation is put to the test.
So if I've already thought about how I might react if, say, a project goes wrong, then when it does go wrong, that pause helps me access those pre-planned rational responses.
Precisely. It transforms a potential shock into a predictable challenge, which you've already armed yourself against.
Makes sense.
And does anticipating challenges make us more resilient when they inevitably arise?
Absolutely.
I'd say a resounding yes.
That's a really smart way to think about it.
Makes sense.
And what about acceptance?
Yeah.
That's a huge Stoic principle.
Acceptance is key. The pause facilitates acceptance by allowing us to step back from our immediate desire for things to be different and to acknowledge the reality of the situation.
So it's not about being passive then, or just giving up.
Totally. It's about accepting what is beyond our control so we can focus our energy on what we can control, our response.
That makes sense. It's like you can't change the rain, but you can choose to bring an umbrella.
Exactly. And this brings us to the present moment. How does pausing help us become more present and mindful?
Well, dwelling on the past or worrying about the future definitely keeps you from being present. If you pause, you're forced to confront what's happening right now.
Good point. It grounds us.
Makes sense.
It pulls us out of the mental chatter and into the actual moment, allowing us to respond effectively rather than react impulsively.
Yeah, I see.
This is where we see strong connections between Stoicism and modern mindfulness practices.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. They sound pretty similar.
There are indeed strong overlaps. Both encourage observation of thoughts and emotions without immediate judgment.
Right. Just noticing what's going on inside and outside.
However, Stoicism adds a crucial layer, the deliberate application of reason and virtue to those observations. It's mindfulness with a clear ethical compass and an impetus to act virtuously.
So it's not just about being aware, but about using that awareness to make better, more virtuous choices.
Precisely. It's like cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which also emphasizes identifying and challenging negative thought patterns. The Stoics were essentially practicing a form of ancient CBT.
That's fascinating. So this pause isn't just a mental trick. It's a foundational skill for living a Stoic life.
Absolutely. It helps us strive towards the ideal of the Stoic sage, that figure of perfect reason and virtue.
Right.
While unattainable, the sage serves as our role model.
I see.
The practice of pausing helps us move closer to that ideal, step by step.
It's about progress, not perfection then. Even for me, with my patience struggles, I can take those pauses and try to respond better.
Exactly. And that, Jim, is the power of Stoicism.
I see.
It's not about being emotionless or superhuman.
Right.
It's about being human with all our flaws and still striving to be our best.
Well, this has been an incredibly insightful discussion. Vincent Kennedy's story is a powerful reminder that these ancient philosophies have real-world, life-changing applications. Thank you, Vincent, and thank you, Ellie.
It's a privilege to share these lessons.
Absolutely.
And to all our listeners, we encourage you to reflect on where you can incorporate that pause in your own life.
I see.
Where can you challenge an impulsive reaction and choose a more virtuous response?
That's a great challenge to leave our listeners with. Thank you for joining us on the Stoic Compass. Until next time, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep striving for that inner control.